welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, this video is coming straight from the heart. We're doing this in just one take. I'm gonna give you 5 steps to get your Scorpio back. And I wanna thank the person who commented on my video saying that they lost their Scorpio and they would like to find out how to get them back. Obviously, this is going to work only if the person was in love with you. That is a huge, huge if. If the person was in love with you, this will work. And if you're a Scorpio and you're just watching this just out of curiosity, let me know if you want to disclose. Let me know in the comments whether you think this is effective. If you think that, if you want to help a girl out, if you want to help people out, leave some comments there and let us know what other things might be useful. As I said, they had to have loved you for this to work, and this works best if you're doing this pretty, quickly after the breakup or the silence, or they're doing their Scorpio thing and you guys are not talking. The sooner you go into these steps, the better and more effective this is going to be. So this first step is going to be, don't make any sudden movements. And let me tell you what I mean by that. So sometimes when people break up, they start doing all sorts of things like changing their display picture, changing their bio, changing their about me, changing their relationship status on Facebook. I don't know if you guys are still into that. People start to change and make things look different than they looked when they were in the relationship. So what this does, Scorpios are smart. They're very intuitive and emotionally intelligent. They know that if you love them, things are not going to change very quickly. So what can happen if you start making all these sudden movements, you change your hair, you do something different. For one, they're going to think, oh, this person's trying to toy with me, and they don't like being toyed with. They're gonna be like, oh, she's trying to act, or he's trying to act like he's moved on, and so I'm gonna see right through that, and they're going to dig their heels even more into what they're doing. Or the second thing, if the Scorpio doesn't really realize how much you love them and you make these sudden movements, remember that they're a fixed sign. Fixed signs like to remain how they are. So they would have liked for things to stay how they were, right? And if you change something, this is going to, remember, one of two things. The first thing is they're going to be like, oh, he's messing with me, so I'm not gonna talk to him. They're gonna dig in the heels even more. Or the second thing is they're going to be like, oh, they've moved on. So they're not gonna try to come and talk to you, and they're not gonna be, so when people tell you like, oh girl, act like you've moved on, do this, and I'm just like, not when you're dealing with a Scorpio. Probably not a Taurus either. Probably if a Taurus breaks up with you, good luck. But okay, that's the first one. No sudden movements. Don't change your profile picture. Don't put a whole bunch of crazy new things that never were on your profile before. I keep mentioning things that are online because oftentimes your Scorpio is going to be doing research, aka stalking you online. So, like benign stalking. I'm not talking about like the knife kind of stalking, nothing like that, because that's a crime. And this is a really important point to remind you. Step number 2 is to realize that if there was love there, the love is not going to disappear overnight, especially when you're talking about a fixed sign. All of the fixed signs are very loyal and their feelings are very much static. But when you're talking about fixed water, this is fixed emotion, fixed love. It's very hard for them to stop loving somebody once they do love them. It takes them so long to fall in love. They're very careful. So once they've loved somebody, it means that they trust that person. So if you guys have broken up for whatever reason and you think that there's a chance, if things are still like, there's still feelings there and you still have love for each other, then you need to rest assured and don't freak out. If they loved you, the love is not going to be gone overnight. Time and time again, I remember I got dumped when I was by my husband. He dumped me when we were in high school. And I remember I was just panicking. And somebody told me, I think an older, wiser young girl told me, look, relax. If he loved you, he's not going to stop loving you overnight or in a week or two or in a month. And if he does, then it means he never loved you. And for some reason that really stuck with me. And now that I'm a grown-ass woman, I realize that that's true. So calm down. If they loved you, they still love you. So you need to relax. That's step number 2. Relax and realize that if they loved you, they still do. Step number 3 is going to be, you need to implement strategic sightings. So what do I mean by this? So you need to make sure that this guy or this girl is going to be able to see you post breakup. So this is going to be very difficult if you delete them off of your social media, if you block them. Don't do any of that. That probably goes into don't make any sudden movements, but they need to see you, because remember that Scorpio is ruled by Mars. They're ruled by their passion. Scorpio also rules reproductive organs. They are very sexually oriented people. And I know that people talk so much about this, but remember, for them, it's an intimate act. It's something deeper than that. It's not just the sex. But if you've been with a Scorpio, you know that. But aside from that, you need to, that is their weakness. That is their weakness. And if they've loved you, they're still in love, like they're still going to love you for a time. So they need to catch eyes on you. They need to be able to see you. So you need to be visible. And this is going to be very, very strategic, because you can't post pictures of yourself where you look so happy, like, oh, I've moved on, for the reasons that I've already explained in step number 1. But I always say this, like, you need to post strategic photos of yourself, or if you see them at school or if you see them at work, that's perfect. You don't have to be posting photos. If they're going to see you in person, don't worry about posting things online. But if they're not, then you absolutely do need to be posting, like, on your stories or like photos. But in the next step, I'm going to tell you like specifically what to post, because this is very specific and this is a very, very subtle and careful, crafty art, okay? So step number 4 is going to be that you need to master the look, the ambiance, the essence of somebody who has just broken up with a Scorpio or who has just been dumped by a Scorpio. First of all, you need to look what I call sad but pretty. Like sad but pretty, kind of like a Pisces. Sad but pretty. Like, you're sad that you guys broke up, but you look good while you look sad. You're not gonna look disheveled and look shitty, because no, you're trying to inspire their love again. Their lust. You're trying to inspire their lust again, right? So you want to look good, but you don't want to look happy, because happy people look like they've moved on, and they need to know that you're hurting, but not hurting so much that you're like, completely let yourself go. It's like, because you need to intrigue them, they need to want to know more and to come back, right? So sad but pretty. You also need to look what I call dignified, like a Capricorn. You need to look dignified because, as I said, Scorpio is a really strong sign. And they respect people who carry themselves with dignity. They themselves are very dignified. So you kind of have to mirror that, right? And Scorpio too, when they always have emotions, but when they're in their emotional states, they don't like display them for everyone to see. They like to keep things under wraps. So you're sort of mirroring that in a sense, but they need to feel like they know what's going on with you. Because remember that Scorpio likes to be intimately connected with a person. So they need to feel like they see that you're sad about the breakup, but you still look good, because you want to attract them again. So sad but pretty, dignified. The next thing is you need to not look like you're trying to move on. If your girlfriend or your guy friends are just like, fuck that person, and like move on and be happy and post pictures of you drinking with your buddies, that's not going to work. Because for one, a Scorpio is going to, as I said, either they're going to see right through it and they're going to be like, nah, I'm not going to, go after them anymore. If they're going to be this silly, acting like they're unaffected. Oh, you're unaffected? I'm going to show you what unaffected is like. You could spur one of those situations with them, or they're actually going to be like, oh, she's moved on. She doesn't care anymore. Okay, like I should probably stop stalking her on her Instagram stories. So you need to look like, this is what I call it. I was just like, you need to look like you're moving on. Like you're trying to move on, but you're looking back. Like you're walking away, but you're looking back. It's very careful. It's very subtle. It's more of an essence, as I said. It's an essence. It's anytime you're dealing with Scorpio, you are going to talk about things that are very, very subtle, because Scorpio doesn't make any sudden, like direct, overt movements. Everything that a Scorpio does goes on beneath the water, beneath the surface. So if you want to entice them into your waters, you want to also make moves underwater, because that's their stomping grounds, basically. And the last thing to do, the last step, is going to be making subtle contact. So this could work one of two ways. You could do something as subtle as like looking at their story, or on Instagram, they need to know that you saw their story. Or you can like one of their photos. And it could be like a little bit of an older photo, or it could be a recent photo. It doesn't really matter. You just have to like one of their photos. And this is a careful one because they could see, your move and just choose to look away. And then it's going to be on you whether you want to make contact and actually, be like, hey, how are you doing? But if you can, keep yourself to, this is not a game. It's not a game, right? You're not playing games with them. You're just, by liking their photo or watching their story, you're letting them know that you're still thinking of them, but you're letting them come to you. Because with Scorpio, oftentimes, Scorpio likes to be in control. So you don't want to make it like you're the one in control of the situation. They always like to feel like they're in control of the situation. So by you liking their photo or watching their story or whatever, you're letting no, honestly, like the watching the story is a little bit too impersonal. I would personally just be like their photo so that they know, oh, like there's an opportunity for me to come back and talk to this person. They haven't completely cut me out of their life. So now let me just leave you with some big hell no's. These are big hell no's, things you absolutely don't want to do if you just broke up with a Scorpio and you want to get back with them at some point, or you want, like, they broke up with you, but you were trying to fix it and you're trying to patch it. And these are things that you absolutely cannot do. The first thing, and this goes back to, remember, they have to see you. There has to be some strategic sightings. The first thing is going to be, don't be posting any thirst traps. How do you even say that? Thirst traps. No thirst trap photos, because Scorpio doesn't like it, because you're posting the thirst trap. It's not just for them, it's for everybody. And remember, Scorpio doesn't like to share. So don't post those. You're trying to post love traps. And how do you post a love trap? Very subtly and very carefully. So what you do is you choose something where you look nice, or an outfit or a shirt or something that they used to like when you wore. So, because it's a subtlety. It's just like, I wonder if she remembers that I like that shirt on her. I wonder if he remembers that I like it when he wore those glasses or whatever it is, those sunglasses, whatever it is, right? So they post it, and it's kind of like, remember, with Scorpio, a lot of the communication is intuitive. So you want to just throw those little signals on there, just be like, I see you. I hope you're still seeing me. Do you see this? Do you see the shirt? Do you see the glasses? Do you see the necklace you gave me? Whatever it is, it's like a subtle hint that you're sending them. So remember, no thirst traps. You're sending love traps for them. The next thing you absolutely don't want to do, the second big no-no, is you don't want to go talking to their friends about the situation, whether this is a guy or a girl. Like, you don't want to be like, hey, she just broke up with me. Like, what do you... No, absolutely not. Scorpios get very when they just broke up with somebody, they're going through their feelings and they don't want you talking to their friends. Absolutely not. They're gonna be like, this person's being shady. They're not gonna like it. Don't talk to their friends. Talk to them. If you want to talk to somebody, talk to them. Don't go talking to their friends. They're not gonna like it. And the last thing you don't want to do, which is something that probably when you're immature, this is probably like an immature, kid thing to do, but I feel like people do this. Don't block them for attention. Some people will block you. So I'll show her, I'm gonna block her. And it's just like, you show me nothing because I'm blocked now. Are you dumb? Don't block them for attention. As I said, no sudden movements. You need to be subtle. You need to be confident in the love that you guys shared. If they loved you, they still love you. They're not going to get over you overnight. Trust me. I'll sign that check. They're not gonna get over you overnight. They're gonna come back. If they loved you. If they didn't, girl, who cares? If they got over you overnight, they never loved you and you need somebody else anyway. So there you have it. That's the strategy to get your Scorpio back. If you like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.